let's think about the root cause first. We need strong stomach acid, so do not let anyone tell you otherwise. It's one of our first lines of defense against bad bacteria or viruses, pathogens. Your prebiotics are a source of food or helping to create the right environment for the probiotics to survive, so I often recommend starting with those. So when we're thinking about building, maintaining and repairing the gut health, arguably the repair work has to come first. Let's not treat the symptoms just yet, but let's think about the root cause first. And digestive systems are often arising because the internal environment of the gut isn't optimal, and this can have some knock-on effects and cause damage. Also, see, when we talk about the gut, we shouldn't actually just think about the gut in terms of the large intestine, but also some of the earlier processes such as the stomach, the mouth. These all connect to create the total gut area. So the stomach, I'm really passionate about the stomach and I talk about that a lot. We need strong stomach acid, so do not let anyone tell you otherwise. Stomach acid is so important because it starts to break down the food that we eat into its simplest units, and this is really important so your body responds to these units well. It means your immune system doesn't get all hyped up, and ultimately you're then able to process and absorb those key nutrients in the simplest units. So we have our macronutrients for energy and our micronutrients for a number of bodily processes. Another really important function of our stomach acid is it's a protector. It helps to protect us against bad bacteria. It's one of our first lines of defense against bad bacteria or viruses, pathogens. But then, as mentioned, taking a step further back again, we have the mouth. So what can we do well and how can we support the mouth? One of the best ways we can do this is to chew properly. So I often recommend up to 20 times per mouthful, and this helps to release digestive enzymes as early as the mouth, so salivary amylase for example. And this act of chewing, especially if we have different taste sensations such as bitterness, this helps to stimulate gastric secretions, so helps to get those further digestive processes going as well. So then once we've got the basic steps in terms of physiology right, we can then think about putting some extra steps in to help to build and maintain the gut. The gut is very good at repairing if we put those very basic initial steps in. Then if we feel we need a step up to help with any residual repair work, I often recommend silicone gel. This is particularly soothing. It helps to protect the lining of the gut, whilst it heals, but it also helps to absorb any noxious substances, gases, pathogens, and excrete them from the gut as well. Remember, your gut is an important exit route that we want to keep open. Also, to help with the repair work, we want good dietary protein, so lots of those essential amino acids. Glutamine is one to be aware of in different food sources or to add in a supplement. Collagen, which is a popular supplement choice at the moment, and also vitamin C, which is a building block in natural collagen production in the body. Then we want to build good digestive strength. So I've talked about those good eating mechanics, so chewing well, sitting up straight, good posture when you're eating is also important to help your gastric secretions flow properly and to help the churning of the stomach muscles work effectively. Relaxing when eating is important as well to help get those rest and digest processes going. But then we can also add in some digestive bitters as well as a little extra step. Bitterness has been somewhat lost from the modern day diet. The bitter taste sensations in the mouth again can help to directly stimulate your stomach acid in your gastric secretions. You can chew bitter foods, or also you can get digestive bitter remedies, so in drop form, and you can just take a small dose of those before meals to get that strong bitter taste to start those processes off nicely. I often recommend taking them 5 to 10 minutes before your meals 3 times daily, and yarrow complex or centurium would be some examples of those. Then what do we do when we want to maintain? So keep up with the bitters consistently before your meals, and then once you've gotten a good routine with your bitters, your centurium or your yarrow complex for example, we could then also start to think about pre and probiotics. Your prebiotics are a source of food or helping to create the right environment for the probiotics to survive, so I often recommend starting with those. I enjoy Mulcasan fruit, which is rich in L+ lactic acid, so that's an important prebiotic. And then of course prebiotics exist naturally in lots of plant-based foods, so your artichokes, bananas, lots of sources of your fibre provide prebiotics in a whole food diet as well. And the key also is to get a variety of dietary fibre, and fermented foods will translate into a wider spectrum of gut bacteria. I always say to start with your prebiotics, which will feed your natural balance of bacteria, and then you might want to also top up with extra probiotics in supplement form as well. Fermented foods are nice options you can make your own at home, and some nice probiotic brands include Improve or Optibac, for example. So in summary, we want to get the protective early steps in to repair the gut with sources of amino acids, silicol gel for added protection, your good eating mechanics, chewing, sitting up straight, relaxing. Then you can start to rebuild the gut with good sources of amino acids and proteins, and then add your bitters to get those gastric secretions flowing. And then we can think about our prebiotics and probiotics for maintenance.